Hey guys, John Loxley here, back with a new rambling mini review. This is Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris, which was released in 2014 and is currently $20. I'm not going to recommend it. Uh, just to be upfront, it is not a bad game. It's not bad, but it is very bland. Um, it looks like it builds itself as a multiplayer twin stick shooter action platformer, whatever, right? And it is, but maybe only half of the time, right? I'd say it's mostly a puzzle game, you know. Well, hello, Mr. Jack. So for any given level, you could have a combat. I mean, they mix all the stuff together, right? So it'll be different sections. So you'll have a combat section, you'll have a puzzle section, you'll have a chase section where some big whatever instant death is chasing you and you have to run through, you know, collapsing floors and obstacles and traps and all that stuff, right? Or just a general platforming section, I would say. And the thing is, I really want to know if there's a difference between the single player maps and the multiplayer maps, because when I was playing single player, obviously stuff that they were just showing with, if so, maybe this shows it. Hang on. When it shows 4 players, when they're running and jumping and stuff, that makes sense. That makes sense to me, because even doing that in the single player was a challenge. But the combat stuff, fighting scarabs that are coming in from the sides, that was easy even in single player. And so I'm wondering, are there differences between single and multiplayer? I don't, even if maybe they just increase the number of enemies per encounter with multiple people, and maybe that would be enough. But there's puzzles. Puzzles are super easy. Not the challenge maps. The challenge maps are actually pretty difficult, but yeah. So the game, I don't know if you guys saw this. If you're on a phone, I apologize. All these little rambling mini reviews, at least the most recent ones are terrible, because I'm doing them in this style where I just look at the Steam page or whatever. But the review is mixed, and 66% is positive. And honestly, that's about what I'd give it. I know it, like I said, it wasn't terrible, but it's not great. It feels very bland. It feels very simple. I was really expecting more combat, and the fact that there just wasn't very much of it. There were entire sections where I would not get hit at all. Getting hit was so infrequent that I was surprised when it actually happened. Because that's how manageable. And it was, to be fair, it was only due to my own fault almost every time. It's, for comparison, okay, the twin stick shooters, I wanted more of it. I didn't really care for the puzzles. The chase sequences were fine, but platforming sucked. But the combat was what I wanted the most of. That's actually what I expected. And the best thing was the final battle. And the final battle was good. I would say mostly, yeah, it was good. It wasn't great. They do this thing. Maybe you guys have played multiplayer games before, but usually your character has like a little ring or something around him, so that especially when the camera is zoomed out because there's multiple people, you could tell who you are versus who the enemies are and where your other characters are, right? So there's a clear demarcation between your characters and enemy characters, and you could see there isn't. None of your player characters have little halos around them. They all blend into the environment, and if you're being swarmed by enemies, unless you recognize them, you don't know who they are. And so what happens is during the final battle, and any battle really, you can't really tell, right? At least with regular combat encounters, you're only fighting a couple enemies at a time, and so I'm just like, yep, I can tell where I am, I can tell where the enemies are, it's not a problem. But during the final battle, it is so chaotic that something would happen, I'd look away for a second, and when I look back, I was like, where am I? Which one am I? You know, even something like this, like check that out right there. Okay, identify the characters. Can I pause this? Which ones are the enemies and which ones are the player characters in this image? Here's one. That's Lara. But I'm pretty sure there's 4 players in this. I can't even tell where the others are. This is probably another one. I think this is an enemy, and the fact they're all attacking over here, so this could be one. But this is a map with 4 players. Because whenever they're showing the video, there's always 4 players. I can identify maybe 2. Maybe 2. And that's what I mean. That's a huge negative. You can't tell where your characters are at a glance. But to go back to the final battle thing, the final battle was the best part of the game. It was the most action-y part, and that's what I expected. I expected a twin stick shooter. And to put that in perspective, if you've ever played a Ratchet and Clank game, the first level of Ratchet and Clank, you'll be going down a hallway and all of a sudden there will be a bunch of enemies on the very beginning. The very beginning. Enemies swarm out and you're like, oh, let me back up while I shoot them. Okay, we're good. That was about how the final battle went. That level of, not challenge, but just that level of combat, right? It's, you know, I'm like, I wanted a twin stick shooter. I expected a twin stick shooter. I did not expect a very easy isometric action game with very easy puzzles. And I really have to wonder if the difficulty was based on the fact that you can't tell where characters are. Excuse me. Because, I mean, just look at this. Just look at this. Just watch the video. Where are the characters at a glance? They blend into the environment. You know? So, I know I've complained a lot. I'm going to keep complaining about the video, but just real fast, what I do want to say, let's say some positives. I thought the music was good. I don't remember it, but I thought it was good. The graphics are really good. You know, I mean, just look at it. It looks fantastic. I think it looks great. I mean, you know, it's not 4K or 8K or any, it's not advanced, but you look at it, you're like, yeah, it looks good. I like the setting, the Egyptian mythology. The lore seems like it seems like they knew the lore. I mean, I don't know the lore, but it seems like they did. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're just making stuff up. But uh, all the graphics look good. The environments look good. Um, the lore. If I'd played this game when I was a new gamer, right, I would probably think this was fantastic. But now that I've had a bunch of experience, I'm like, I've been gaming for my entire life. This is nothing special. It's nothing special, and well, let me rephrase that because I think the lore is all the praiseworthy things. They are praiseworthy, right? But there are some negatives like not being able to see your characters, and I think those are unforgivable given the fact that video games have existed for 30 years now. It's I should, someone, they should have tested it. During testing, I'm sure at some point someone was like, I have a hard time telling where my character is. Right? And they should have been like, you know what? It is hard to see where a character is. Let's fix that. And I know they could do it because when your character hasn't been hit for a while and they're powered up, they have a little ring around them. You could do that permanently so that I could be like, oh, there I am. I'm red. I'm the red player. But yeah, I don't know. The weapon selection was good. That's the thing. It's like it's not a bad game. It is the combat sections when enemies are swarming you and stuff. It is fun. It is fun. $20 is too much. I'd say 7 because I got even 7 might be too much because I got like 5 hours out of it. But I mean it's not terrible. I don't know. Like I said, don't recommend. If you got it for free, because I think I did. I don't know. I tried to do it not in one sitting, but I played it, and just as the game went on, and it just stayed kind of bland throughout. I was like, I just got ready for it to be over, And then you get little challenges. It's like finish this stage in 5 minutes. And it's like, well, I'm trying to collect all the treasure because there's gotcha elements as well, right? So you get to the end, and depending on how much you break stuff, and that gives you gems. And you get to the end of the level, and based on how many gems you've collected, you get to open a chest. And there's, bronze, silver, and gold chests. So you want to, break all the pots, and so you can get all the gems, so you can get random equipment at the end. But it rewards you for not doing that, which is kind of frustrating. I don't know. It's very strange. It's very strange. There's some really good ideas. There's some bad ideas. I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I said, it's bland. It's not bad. It's not good. It's okay. I don't know if I can even really recommend it casually because there's parts that are fun, but I was just like, there's some really dumb design decisions, and I was like, come on. I lost my patience with it pretty fast because it's like rookie stuff. Like that right there where you can't even see. I'm like, there's 4 people in this picture. I can't even find 2 of them for certain. I know where one is because I could see Lara. Maybe one other. I don't know where the others are. That's inexcusable. That's inexcusable. Maybe there's an option in the menu where you could do that, but I didn't look. I tried to. They actually had screen shake on. I know. Man, we're at 15 minutes already. That's crazy. they have, you'll be going along and something, I don't know what happens, there's explosions or whatever, and the screen shakes. And I actually started getting motion sick, and I almost never do that playing video games. And I was like, how do I turn off the screen shake? Went through every single option. It's not in there. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna either barf, or I'm gonna stop, or they're gonna turn, or the screen shake will subside after this part. Thankfully, they eased off after that, but man, I was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna, I'm feeling a little queasy all of a sudden. So it just very, very odd, a lot of very odd choices, and I bet they were rushed. If I had to guess, I would say, because I know there was one before this, and that was supposedly really good, and I bet Square Enix was like, make a sequel. We need a sequel for next year's holiday season. Get it out in a year. You have 8 months. Or something like, you know what I mean? It's probably something like that. And so they had to rush. That's kind of what I expect. But who knows? When was let's take a look. Let's take a look right now. Okay, Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Not Rise, Temple of Osiris, Tomb Raider, Soul Reaver. Did I miss it already? Lara Croft, Guardian of Light, 2010. Okay. $10. I've heard that one's good. And then this one was 2014 for $20. That's strange, right? This one any good? I don't know. Is it multiplayer? Is it co-op? It says co-op and local co-op. Whereas I think what was the one? Temple of Osiris. I think that one's online as well. It says local co-op. Pretty sure it's internet co-op as well. Anyway, let's stop here. I've ranted about this enough. Hopefully, even though this is a rambling mini review, hopefully it was at least semi-coherent. I have some kind of strong feelings about this one, because that's the thing. It is bland, but they really made some dumb decisions, and I feel like, excuse me, I didn't notice a difficulty setting, for example. It was, I assume single player was added maybe late or something. So kind of shocked there was no difficulty option, but you could have had that. You could have had an option to not have the screen shake. You could have had the option, and that's the thing, you don't have to put a colored ring around each character. You could have one as an option. You know what I mean? Accessibility is king, right? It's just all about whatever. I don't know. Give people the choice. Anyway, just a bunch of rookie mistakes that really kind of started to annoy me during the playthrough, and I'm like, why did they do this? It makes no sense. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. Really do appreciate it. Really hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. Yeah, like I said, it's not terrible. If you have it, man, I can't even say necessarily that you should play it, because like I said, I was ready to be done with this game, and it didn't even take me 5 hours. It was like 4.7 hours or something like that. So 4 3/4, and I was like, I'm done. Probably at the 3 hour mark, I was like, oh my god, how much left is there? I don't think we were even halfway, because it shows you how far you are by how many of the pieces of the statue that you've collected. But I think I was a third of the way through, and I'm like, are we done? How close? And then I saw that, and I was like, oh god, there's how much more? But Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's super fun with multiple players. Maybe single player it's not as good. I don't know. There are games I've played where I just can't play them single player, but with another person they're great. For the King is the one I'm thinking of, by the way. So I don't know. I don't know. If you have it for if you got it for free, try it with another player. I guess that would be my recommendation. But like I said, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time and attention. Questions, comments, concerns, good, bad, or different, let me hear them. I do try and read all of them. I do try and respond to all of them. That's it. That's basically it. Hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.